We understand it's a quiet community, so we don't want to disturb the peace.
If proper procedure and policies had been followed, I can guarantee you this would have had a different outcome.
Mense is bang, want wat sien ons van moslems, hoe lyk dit daar buite?
The use of loudspeaker definitely must not be allowed.
Ek sal definitief dit oorweeg om weer te trek en 'n huis in 'n ander area te koop.
No space within the city boundaries is designated a racially exclusive enclave for any particular race group.
Die inwoners van Valhalla en Centurion is erg verdeeld oor nuus dat 'n moskee op hierdie stuk grond op die hoek van Finus en Hammerfeststraat opgerig gaan word. Daar is van dese week, nadat die Tshwane-metro se burgemeester Kgosientso Ramokgopa die bou van die moskee goedgekeur het, gekla oor die geraas wat hierdie oproep tot gebed sal maak. En vrese uitgespreek dat die hoofsaaklik Afrikaanse Christen-gemeenskap uit Valhalla verdryf gaan word. Daarby is vergelykings met ISIS en ander radikale geloofsgroepe getref en gedreig dat varke op die perseel geslag sal word.
You want to bury it here as well? Please, I'll dig a hole for you, put it in there. If you, as a community, think that that's going to offend us, yes, as a human, I am offended in it. But if you think by you burying it here on this piece of ground, coming and spilling its blood on this ground, it's going to deter us from putting a mosque here, then you've got another thing coming. Because it will happen. And you know what? This mosque will come up.
Hy verduidelik, met behulp van tegnologie hoef die oproep tot gebed nie hier uitgebasuin te word nie.
The call to prayer 5 times a day will be done through technology, will be done via cell phone apps, and also will be receivers put in the Muslim homes. So with that, your neighbor wouldn't even hear the call to prayer.
The use of loudspeaker definitely must not be allowed. I've had a wonderful relationship with my Afrikaanse neighbors who are very sickly old people and we have to take them into consideration.
The bylaws actually give me, I think it's 75 or 85 decibels of noise level. I can say I'm going to use that, but we didn't do it. Why? Because we are showing you how tolerant we are. I am being tolerant with just the most important aspect of my religion.
Maar die geraas is nie die enigste van die gemeenskap se griewe nie. Almal hier is egter nie ewe gewillig om op kamera te praat nie, uit vrees vir viktimisasie.
Ek voel in die eerste plek het nie eens geweet dat hier gaan 'n mosk wees tot en met so 2-3 weke terug toe ek dit die eerste keer in die koerant gelees het nie.
The only problem I have with it is the noise aspect and the influx of traffic and people in a suburb that does not have the infrastructure for it, and how that will affect the value of our homes.
Daar is in 2013 reeds 'n petisie opgestel wat hierdie besware en ook ander uitlig.
We have got a lot of residents that did sign the petition that came previously from Laudium and Erasmia. And these residents have voiced an opinion that they were literally forced out of Erasmia and then forced out of Laudium because they felt that their culture was being undermined.
Hier bly mense wat al 3 geslagte in Valhalla woon en hulle voel ons gaan uitgewerk word, ons sal maar moet verkoop en gaan. Is dit regverdig?
Ek kan nie sien hoe 'n mosk al doen hulle die hele silent radio thing, dit gaan nie kan stil wees nie. Hier gaan altyd mense wees, altyd voete, dit gaan allerhande goed lok. Dit gaan net nie meer so stil wees nie. En vir my gaan dit oor die rustigheid van die area. As hier net 'n mosk is en hier's geen klankbesoedeling nie, dan is dit al klaar vir my baie beter, maar dan hoekom wil hulle 'n mosk hier kom bou as daar een in Laudium is?
You know, you have that little plekkie by die see. No, we've got a plekkie by Valhalla, you know. This is our home. This is what we're in a position where we don't have millions to move anywhere else in Pretoria. This is a paid for home and we feel a little bit threatened.
Die huidige klimaat wêreldwyd speel glo ook 'n rol.
Ja, is mense hier wat skree, hier's ISIS. Nee, dit is nie so nie. Dit beteken nie, hier gaan moslems kom en hulle begin moor nie. Nee, ek dink ook nie die mense regtig dink so, en so 'n paar moedswilliges wat dit op Facebook sê. Mense dink nie so nie, ek dink ook nie so nie. Maar mense is bang, want wat sien ons van moslems, hoe lyk dit daar buite? Die mense wat ISIS en Boko Haram en al hierdie groepe is, wat doodmaak, wat Christene vermoor, is mense wat dieselfde Koran gebruik wat die mense hier lees. En hoe kan ons mense rustig wees en dink, daar doen hulle anders, hier sal dit vrede wees. Ek dink mense het die reg om hulle vrees uit te spreek, en daai plakkaat wat sê Parys, Brussels, Valhalla, is vir my 'n aanduiding van, dit is die gesig van Islam wat die mense sien.
To associate Islam with terrorism, that's now really offensive. What have we got to do with Boko Haram? Islam has been in this country for well over 200 years, and we never once picked up arms against the apartheid regime. Neither have we picked up arms against this regime. So why will we start now to attack our fellow neighbors? Islam doesn't propagate terrorism. What we are seeing on the media is not Islam. That is the West's idea of Islam.
Maar het almal dan nie die reg tot geloof in hul onmiddellike omgewing nie?
At the moment, we congregate in a garage, at a residence. We congregate at the spa down the road. And I mean, we pray in little pockets all over the place. So, we want a place where we can all congregate together. The closest mosque to Valhalla would be either Erasmia or Lodium. It's about 12 k's maximum from Valhalla. Okay, driving 5 times a day up and down, that's 24 k's a single trip.
We've heard many arguments that say, "Oh, but the Muslims are a minority and they're entitled to their church, to their mosque," and we don't argue that. But we have a finite amount of resources within an area, and if you take the needs of the community into account, in Valhalla we have probably about 9,000, if not more, Christians within the area. The 5 churches that are in the area only accommodate about 1,500, and there was a request put on this piece of ground to erect a church over here, which was denied by council. So now you have to say, how can you deny 7,500 potential users and grant it to 200 users? That just doesn't make sense, because it doesn't follow your own procedure, which says you have to take the needs of the community into account.
Natuurlik het hulle vryheid van geloof, maar het Christene nie ook vryheid van geloof, vryheid om hulle leefwyse en hulle gewone kultuur te beleef en daarmee aan te gaan soos wat hulle gewoond was? Die mense rondom sê hulle vertrek. So hierdie hele koms van 'n moskee hiernatoe is 'n geweldige verdelende faktor op hierdie stadium in Valhalla.
Die DA, die meerderheidsparty in die wijk, sê as al die prosedures gevolg is, sou hierdie situasie waarskynlik nie ontstaan het nie.
Had the process been done correctly, we wouldn't be having the backlash that we're having right now. The mosque will be built. It's now gone through council. It has been approved in council. The majority have voted for the mosque, including the DA has actually voted for that, because we believe that everybody has a right to practice their religious beliefs. But I want us to review the public participation policy in the city. I want us to review how pieces of land are donated, and why are we only concentrating on donating pieces of land to churches or to religious groups. There are NGOs, a number of NGOs that have been pleading for a number of years, NGOs that are aimed at helping communities all over the city. Why have their applications not been given attention, or not speeded up as they have speeded up with the religious groups?
In order to foster social cohesion and undermine the effects of, amongst others, the Native Land Act and the Group Areas Act, the city continued to donate land parcels to faith-based organizations. We have thus far donated over 170 parcels of land measuring in excess of 861,000 square meters to the religious community as an important stakeholder in the fight against moral degeneration, drug and substance abuse, crime and corruption.
Yusuf Abramji, 'n gemeenskapsaktivis, het die Menseregte Kommissie intussen gevra om ondersoek in te stel na verskeie islamofobiese uitlatings en rasisme, veral in sosiale media.
I hope the commission will investigate and if they find any wrongdoing, they must take appropriate action. I mean, Laudium and Erasmia is a stone's throw away, it's about 10, 12 kilometers. And these people argue you must go to your mosque in Laudium and Erasmia. I think that on its own is suggesting that there's religious intolerance. They've got no respect for the religion.
So waar staan sake dan nou?
Maybe not the entire project, but just the main part of it, the mosque and the learning centers for the children. I would say in about 6 months we would like for it to be all completed. Okay, but construction of the mosque we would like to start. If the plans pass now, I promise you I'll dig ground tomorrow.
Richard Botha, gemeenskapsleier wat die sowat 2600 lede in die versoekskrif verteenwoordig, sê hulle is bereid om die saak tot in die konstitusionele hof te voer, indien nodig.
We have now put in an application for appeal. That is supposed to be a 6-week process, and they have to put together a tribunal where we will present our case to them based on the procedure and everything. Should they find against us, obviously, then we will take it further. We're not 100% sure of the impartiality that will come out of this, the process, considering the history of what has taken place over here. So we envision we'll probably end up in High Court, and then if needs be, take it all the way to the Constitutional Court. An application was put in with the CRL Commission, the Commission for Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Rights. They have informed us that they will be taking up the matter and they will be looking at a mediatory process. When it comes to the community, they will be setting up a mediatory process to see if they can assist in the matter. I truly believe that we need to use this as a case study to really get clarity on how a council is supposed to deal with religious, cultural and linguistic rights.
Maar almal in Valhalla sien die moskee egter nie as 'n bedreiging nie. Party sien dit eerder as 'n geleentheid.
Die Here sê vir ons, die koninkryk beerwe, die kinders van die Here maak disippels maak en ons moet uitgaan. Jy gaan stil sit in die gemaksone, sê okay, hier word nou 'n moskee gebou, wat nou? Wat gaan jy nou omtrent doen? Jy kan niks omtrent doen, maar jy kan bid. Jy kan mense se hande vat. Sê weet jy wat, kom leef saam met ons. Dis ons almal 'n uitreik geleentheid. Ons moet kinders van die Here maak, disippels maak. Dit is waaroor dit vir my gaan.